Aaron Donald was one voice who isn't getting shook by the prospect of facing the GOAT, saying, quote, "I respect what he did in the past, but it's a whole new year." So Shannon, scale of 1 to 10, how much did you like what he said?
10. That's what he was supposed to say. I think sometimes guys get in awe of Tom Brady. Tom Brady is generational. He's historically, he's transcendently great. Whatever term you want to use, greatness, and however you want to define it, Tom Brady has a picture in the dictionary next to greatness. That's what he's been great. He's been clutch. He's been everything that you think a top-notch quarterback should be. He's been that, and if you magnify it times 100, he's been that. But Aaron Donald is absolutely right. You respect what the man has done because you see what he's done. You see what he's doing. But that doesn't have anything to do with this game. This game is a separate game in and of itself. And as I mentioned, a lot of times people get in awe of Tom Brady, and they're like, oh, my gosh, man, that's Tom Brady. He's unbelievable. And Aaron Donald says, yes, we understand, but he's a man. And we're going in there and to try to win a football game. We're not going to be in awe. We're going to respect what he's done, but we're not going to be in awe in who's done it. So I love what Aaron Donald said, knowing that it's not going to be an easy task, knowing that what Tom Brady represents. But Skip, the past has nothing to do with the present. And so I think the thing is for Aaron Donald and his team to go in there and approach it like that. Guys, let's go in there. Do not be afraid of Tom Brady. Do not be in awe of Tom Brady. We're going to respect him as a player and what he's been able to accomplish. But those accomplishments doesn't help him in this game because guess what? We don't start with, oh, Tom got 7 Super Bowls in this game or he scored this many points. It starts 0-0. We have 60 minutes. They have 60 minutes to prove who's the better of the teams on Sunday. Not what transpired in the past, what might transpire in the future, what happened today. We determine that. Not the 7 Super Bowls, not the 1,000 trillion yards that he's passed for, not the 1 million touchdowns that he's passed for. Today is a different day. I love what Aaron Donald said. This is how I think a lot of guys feel, but I'm not so sure they have the confidence to verbalize it like Aaron Donald did.
So, Shannon Sharpe, there's about to be great irony in how you and I are answering the same question. You just gave Aaron Donald a 10 on the scale of 1 to 10 for how much you liked what he said, because that's what he's supposed to say. He's Aaron Bleepin' Donald. Got it. But you are picking the Rams to beat the Bucs at GOAT, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, thank you. I am picking the GOAT to beat the Rams at GOAT. So I also give it a 10 for the very opposite reason than you did, because I love that he said it for Brady's sake. What do I always say about Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.? What is my mantra on this show? There is one man in sports I do not bet against when you push all the chips to the middle of the table and they are about to get pushed on Sunday at Tampa. I also say again and again that even though Tom Brady looks nothing like Michael Jordan ever looked, it's a whole different package that he is projecting. He is definitely Brady is definitely Jordan-esque. What was Jordan's MO? He was constantly looking for, if not fabricating, reasons to beef with somebody on the other team. I don't like this. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he talks. I can't believe he said that about me or that about us. And he would take it to heart in the weirdest, craziest, greatest ways and use it to fuel his competitive rage. I think Brady is built just like Jordan. He's got competitive rage inside him that manifests itself in games like that. This is what I call Psycho Tom. I think we're about to see the first appearance, maybe this whole year, of Psycho Tom. And it's quotes just like this from Aaron Donald that will set off Brady, because there's nothing wrong in and of itself with what Aaron said as far as how it would benefit his team, like respect what he did past tense, but this is a whole new year. Well, trust me on this. Brady will take that as a challenge, if not a taunt. He will somehow twist it in his head like he's taunting me. He's saying I'm a has-been, I'm a once was, and that now the Rams have arrived. Now it's their time. My time is past time. That's how he will interpret this, I believe. So I would warn Aaron, as much as I like Aaron, I think Aaron Donald is a really good guy. The more I watch him talk after games, I just think he's a good guy. And they're very fortunate to have him as a team leader. The problem Aaron has is, which is why I would caution him to be careful, be very, very careful about what you say about GOAT, is riding shotgun, going to Tampa for Aaron Donald is a quarterback named Matthew Stafford who is nowhere near Tom Brady. So the concern I have for not only Aaron, but you, Shannon Sharpe, is, are you sure that Matthew Stafford can back this up, that it's a whole new day for the Rams? Because I don't see it. I don't trust it. I don't believe it. And I'm going to let you respond first before I start to back up why I don't trust Matthew Stafford on Sunday at Tampa. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, Skip. Anytime you do something once, you feel comfortable, you can do it again. Because Matthew Stafford has beaten Tom Brady, he beat him early in the regular season. Now, granted, it was at SoFi. This was going to be in Tampa. But I beat you before. I have confidence that I can do it again. Now, I understand, like then, that was then, this is now. There's something totally different at stake now than it was then. Yeah. That was to go to 2-0. This is an opportunity to go to the NFC Championship game. So and who knows, the Rams win, 49ers win, you might get a NFC Championship game, Skip, at SoFi. So I just think the thing is, Skip, and Tom, see, this, and you know this about Tom. Tom never really says what he's thinking. Shannon McCoy gave you a glimpse into what Tom Brady is actually like. He said after they beat New Orleans, he's out there throwing the ball with Drew Brees and his kids, and he's talking to his wife, and oh, Drew, you had a great career, yada, yada, yada. He gets back in the locker room and on the buses, I got his ass. I got him. Yeah, that's how he thinks.
Yeah, that's Brady. That's the real Brady.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that's the real Brady, because, Skip, he told us in the summer, he says, I only say 10% of what I'm actually thinking. So the other 90% that he keeps to himself, what he actually feels about an opponent, what he actually feels about a coach or that team, he never verbalizes it. They got a lot of good players, and Skip, he's done a great job. Well, this guy plays safety, and he does this, and this guy plays corner, and the linebackers, and this D-line, and the coaching staff. He gets all that. He has it down to a science where people are like, well, man, look at Brady. He knows everybody. Brady looks at you just like he looks at everybody else. He's like, I'm Tom Brady, you're not. And remember, Skip, what he said about defensive players, that you like, Tom, why would you say that? Why would you say the reason why they play defense is because they can't think fast enough, or they can't do this to play offense? You're like, Tom, why would you say that? And then you seem like the Saints are one of the few teams that took that to heart, because every time they play him, they punish him, unlike anybody else has been able to do, Skip, especially in the regular season.
Agreed. Okay, so I hear what you just said. And it's also possible that Aaron Donald is so great, so dominating, so all-time, that he alone can take over this game and take Brady down. He is capable. I give you that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, let's get back to his quarterback. Is his quarterback then capable of doing his part, of living up to Aaron Donald? Because I'm going to remind everybody, with Matthew Stafford replacing Jared Goff, the Rams just flew out of the gate and went 7-1 in their first 8 games. They closed 5-4. 5-4 close. And in that close, the only game, obviously, let's just go to the end. The one game they won where everybody says, look, they took off, was the Arizona game. So they finished 5-4 in the regular season, and then everybody said, look, they just wiped the slate clean against Arizona. Well, guess what Arizona did? It lost 4 of its last 5 games, and the only game it won was against my sorry Dallas Cowboys, who fell hopelessly behind and rallied and made it look respectable like they always do, 25-22. But you know and I know that Arizona they just fell on their face down the stretch.
Of that game.
They lost it.
They did.
And so, against the Rams, the Rams were just clearly superior in every facet of that game, including at quarterback. But guess what Matt Stafford did in that game? He threw only 17 passes on Monday night against the Arizona Cardinals. 17 passes? Mm-hmm. That was the second lowest of his career and by far the lowest of this season. Well, guess what had happened? Coach McVay said, I'm taking the game out of the quarterback's hands. He's only going to throw it 17 times. He threw for 202, which is great. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Great. Got it. But they ran for 140 yards. And if you look down the stretch at the last 3 regular season games, Matt Stafford threw 3 picks at Minnesota. He threw 2 at Baltimore, including his 4th pick six of the year. And then he threw 2 more against San Francisco as they blew a 17-0 lead and lost to the 49ers 27-24 in overtime. My point is the quarterback was just unraveling down the stretch. So Aaron can say it's a whole new year. Well, it's also a whole new quarterback. Are you sure you trust Matt Stafford? Can he go to Tampa and throw only 17 passes and beat Tom Brady?
I don't think you can. Because I don't. No, I don't think you can either, Skip, because I don't think Tampa will allow you to run the ball for 140-plus yards. Now, I could be wrong, Skip. Now, you can't get into a situation where you just drop back. I don't believe you can throw the ball 50 times and beat Tampa either. I believe you have to have some type of balance. You just can't let JPP and Vita Vea and Sue and Shaq Barrett just pin their ears back. And you know that monster that they got in the middle, Devin White, you know he's going to come on a couple of dog blitzes himself. And he can get to the quarterback in a hurry. So you know, Skip, they're going to have to find some resemblance of a run game, even if it's not as impactful as it was Monday night against Arizona. But, Skip, this is why they made the trade for Matthew Stafford, was for a game like Monday night and for a game like on Sunday. This is why you give up what you gave up, because you said the reason why we're not going as far as we need to since the Super Bowl is because of the quarterback. Sean McVay says, I want to call a play and then cut my microphone off. I don't want to have to say, now, if they give us cover 3, I want you to go here, here, here. If they give us cover 4, I want you to go here. He says, I called a play, and I know Matthew Stafford's going to take it over from there. So that's what he needed. Now, Aaron Donald said what he said. It's going to be up to him and Leonard Floyd and Von Miller and Jalen Ram, to do what they need to do, because Tom Brady is going to score points. Matthew Stafford is going to have to keep up. The question is, Skip, what's a number that the Rams defense can hold Brady to that you believe Matthew Stafford can get to? Can they hold Tom to 24 points at home and Stafford gets to 27, 31? Is that possible? I believe it is. Well,
they held him at 24 at SoFi, Brady, because it was 34-24. Mm-hmm. Brady ended up throwing for 432 yards. So you can say it was like Dak Prescott-esque, but because it was a lot of late garbage, quote-unquote, yards. But still. Yeah. So in the end, here's my conclusion. The Rams also acquired another player, signed another player for games just like this, and that's Odell Beckham Jr. to complement what they do have at receiver. They've got the most productive receiver in the National Football League, obviously, in Cooper Kupp. They have a pretty good deep threat in Van Jefferson. They have a very good pass-catching tight end in Higbee. So now Odell is going to get single coverage all day long. Can he rise and shine? Well, I look at
I believe you can.
Matt Stafford's QBR. Matt Stafford's QBR before Odell got there in the first 9 games was 69. It was right up the top of the league. And then with Odell there, it fell some. Yeah, I think it was actually at 69. With Odell there over the last 8 games, it fell to 54. Not terrible, but again, significant enough that it makes you scratch your head and say, is he trying trying too hard to find Odell? Is it going to mess him up in a big game on a big stage where he wants to get Odell involved and he starts to try to force it to him to the detriment of Cooper Kupp or whoever else might be open on a play? So to me, the onus of Aaron Donald's quote is going to fall upon the shoulder pads of a Matthew Stafford who finally last Monday night broke through and won his first ever playoff game. Good luck to Matt Stafford.
Yeah, but the Rams also signed another player that was Super Bowl 50 MVP for games like this. You saw he showed his head on Monday night. Right. Yep. He had, 2 tackles for losses, had a sack, had 6 tackles.
Looked good.
We know what Von Miller can do. Now, the question is, Skip, how healthy is Tristan Wirth and is Ryan Jensen? Are they there? Skip, you're going to have your work cut out for you. If those 2 guys are absent from the lineup, you're going to have your work cut out for you.
I agree. Here we go.
I agree. No doubt about that. Oh, this matchup is going to be so fun for you guys all week to talk about it. Maybe a bet on the line by the end of the week. All right.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be a bet. It's definitely going to be a bet.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.